Hey guys, Neatzone here with the modern black-red zombie tribal deck. Playing the fourth match with it after I took out the diagraph, took out the blood scrivener for diagraph ghouls. We'll see if that comes up at all in this game. Lost the die roll. Have a pretty good hand. We don't have a one drop despite the fact that we increased the number of one drops we have, but it's still pretty good. So I think I'm going to keep it. Maybe we'll draw a one drop since we're on the draw. Opponent could be playing a lot of things with the turn 1 Serum Visions. If this is a control deck, getting the stockpile out early. Hey, we did draw a one drop. How about that? We would like to pay 2 life. Getting the stockpile out early is going to be a big deal. I think I'm going to go ahead and just hedge and assume I'm playing against a deck like that and get the stockpile out as soon as he taps out. Delver. Okay. So it is a deck that's certainly got a decent number of counter spells in it. I think I am going to play the stockpile. Swing for 2 here. And we will play... Well, I actually think I'm going to play the Guild Mage. I have a turn 3 Death Baron. We can just go for the race here. Okay, well, I had a feeling he might have Spell Snare, and he did. And that's okay with us. So it transformed into Insectile Aberration, so now he's going to start swinging with it and trying to race us. I'm going to try to resolve a Death Baron right here. Yeah. And we didn't, but we're drawing out counter spells. If we can resolve our Necromancer's stockpile, our opponent will have a hard time. He's probably never going to tap out again, though, to be fair. So we're just going to swing here. Obviously, our guy can't block anyway. And I'm going to try to resolve the stockpile right now. See if he lets it happen. Okay, Snapcaster for Mana Leak, most likely. So he's not letting that resolve. Spell Snare. Oh, that makes even more sense. Okay, we'll just end our turn. Probably going to lose this game. Okay. Let's see here. I mean, if we play the Risen Executioner here, we swing for 3. We can swing for 7 the next turn, plus play Geralf's Messenger for 9. I think that I am going to play the Executioner. Try to anyway. See what happens. Yeah, our opponent has all the counter magics. Don't think we can win. We'll be hard pressed too anyway. Puts us at 2, and we drew a swamp, so that does not do us any good, so we're just going to concede here. We will begin sideboarding. We're going to bring in lightning bolts, take out the dreadbores. That's about it. Everything else is fine. I mean, we really need to get a stockpile out there. Playing first would have helped with that in the last game, maybe. All right, we don't have a stockpile, but it's still a pretty good hand. No turn 1 Delver is nice, as is the fact that he tapped out. Too bad we don't have a stockpile this time. Hopefully we can draw a 3rd mana and just start rolling here. And then a 4th would be nice too. The Guild Mage is nice to resolve too, actually, because it allows us, if we get to 4 mana, we can kill Delvers by discarding things. So yeah, and he's decided to just go ahead and kill it now. He's tapped out again, though. He's stuck on 1 land. Both are good for us. We'll play our Messenger. There's a Delver. Doesn't concern us a whole lot because we've gotten rolling so quickly and our opponent has struggled so much to hit a 2nd land. So we've probably got this game. We know he has a Spell Snare now, which can only counter converted mana cost 2, which doesn't concern us right now either. I think I'm just going to go ahead and play out a 2nd Risen Executioner to make it so neither of these guys can die to blocking. I think our opponent will probably scoop. I mean, it's pretty hard to come back from this when he's stuck on 1 land. Okay, well, he's going to bolt the 1st Executioner, which doesn't do nothing. And we'll attack. So he doesn't have to scoop just yet. He'll go for the block, still lose 2. And if he doesn't have a blocker or removal spell, we have lethal on the board. Tasigur, okay. Would be nice to have the black mana we pretty desperately need. But Death Baron, I mean red mana, but Death Baron will work out. He'll give everyone Death Touch, make it so they can kill Tasigur. Seems like everyone's running Tasigur these days. He is pretty crazy good, so I guess that makes sense. Opponent's going to 2. Yeah, so we got game 2. We were helped by some mana screw from our opponent. Of course, we couldn't hit red, which was a little annoying, but worked out. Playing first always helps against Delver too, which we don't get to do this time, but that's okay. Would have been nice if we won the die roll. Come on, we want a Necromancer's stockpile. We don't have one, but we do have a pretty good hand. We can kill a Delver. We have 2 Grave Crawlers, so I'm pretty satisfied with that. If turn 1 all I get to do is kill a Delver, that's a pretty good turn. Doesn't look like that's what we're going to get to do, though, so we'll just play out our Mountain. And maybe we'll get to kill a Delver at the end of this turn. Good to keep in mind that there's both a Mana Leak and a Lightning Bolt in his graveyard for Snapcaster Mage. Something to always keep in mind against Delver decks and other decks that run the Snapcaster Mage. No Delver. Now we can kill 2 Delvers. That's nice. So we'll play our Gravecrawler here. Next turn we'll probably play Rakdos Guildmage. Although it might be nice to try to play around Spell Snare. I mean, it's one counterspell that just won't be useful against Gravecrawler. The counterspells in general aren't that useful against Gravecrawler when you already have one in play too, so that might be ideal. Yeah, that's pretty intimidating, but it's not something we can't deal with right now. We will just terminate the Angler right now while he's tapped out. And we'll swing in with our Gravecrawler, which he's unlikely to trade with, so. Hey, for once the Delver didn't transform. That's nice. Yeah, we're the ones stuck on mana now. I'm going to go ahead and swing with this Gravecrawler. I'm going to play the second one from my hand and leave up mana for... Oh, well, apparently I won't. I accidentally passed to the end of my turn. That happens. Turn target creature card from your graveyard to your hand and kill my Gravecrawler. That means he's on 1 mana. I think I'm just going to go ahead and bolt the Delver right now. Getting back his Gurmag Angler, which we'll be able to cast pretty soon, no doubt. Plus he had another Delver, so okay, that's pretty helpful in this particular situation. We'll play a Gravecrawler, see if that resolves. Okay, he's exiling all the cards from my graveyard, which means we can't play our other Gravecrawler. And he might have a Spell Snare, but I'm going to play a Guildmage anyway. If I choose the right way to play it. There we go. No Spell Snare, that's good. I mean, if we hit 4 mana, we can just start killing Delvers. And that's good. The Delver once again didn't transform. I'm sure we're going to see Gurmag Angler now. But if he's tapping out for that, that's cool with us because we can play Death Baron without fear of it dying immediately or being countered. So we're just going to swing with both these guys. He either has to trade or take 6. So he's taking 6. Pretty good chunk of damage. So the Delver finally transformed. It's funny, he has Delver and creatures with Delve in his deck. I'm not sure what he'll do here. Okay, he killed our Death Baron with Terminate, which makes good sense. He's just going all out, swinging here. It would have been nice if we drew our fourth land there, but we didn't. I think we're just going to swing for 4 here. We're going to play Timuret if it resolves. It'd be nice if it resolves. Be nice to top deck a lightning bolt too. But yeah, we're going to play Timuret. If we top deck a land, we just win with Timuret. So we're going to try to resolve that. Sure, he has a Snapcaster. No? Okay. He may still have a Snapcaster and be ready to terminate. Yeah, so now if we draw a land, we're just going to win. Well, okay. That bolt prevents that from happening. Just going to swing with the Delver now, which makes sense. We're really struggling in the mana department here, which is a little frustrating. We can swing at him and knock him to 1, which might be the best move here. Except it potentially opens us up to lethal. So it might just be safer to just try to play another Timuret. Hope he doesn't have a way of dealing with it. And yield till the end of our turn. Again, if we top deck a land and Timuret's still in play, yeah, if we top deck a land here, we're just going to win because we can throw 2 zombies at him. He's only got 1 black. I don't think there's something he can do to kill our Timuret here. Right, he'll swing with both. We have to block the Delver with our Rakdos Guild Mage. And we really need to top deck a land or we lose. And there it is. So we got this, unless he has a lightning bolt in his hand, but we'll see. Actually, we don't got this. Dang. Or do we? No. No, we lose. If I had kept that other guild mage, we could have won. That guild mage we could have won, but I had to block. Yeah, I mean, I can play the Executioner, which will make him take nothing. He'll just double block and kill us on the backswing. I think what we have to do, I mean, we can still buy ourselves another turn, potentially. If this weren't a shock land, we really could, because you could play out both our guild mages, but let's see. If I play a Rakdos Guild Mage and it resolves, I'll have 2 blockers. I can block this and this and take 4. And I think that's what we're going to do, and just hope we draw a lightning bolt. It's probably the only way we can win now. So we'll try to resolve this guild mage. We might as well swing with our crawler here. We can just play it again and take out a creature in the process. He may just go to 1. In which case, we can actually just win if we play our Blood Crypt. I kind of doubt that's what he's going to do because, yeah, I mean, he knows what Timuret can do. And then we'll play our Gravecrawler again from our graveyard. And we'll play Blood Crypt, and we will not pay 2 life. And we'll end our turn. So if we can get through this turn, which is unlikely. I mean, we're going to have to give up Timuret, and we're going to have to give up our Rakdos Guild Mage, and we're going to go to 2. That's if he's willing to swing with everything. If he is, we actually can play our Executioner, assuming it resolves, and then have Gravecrawler. Okay, Lightning Bolt. Just especially if it's, oh no, it's targeting Timuret. Okay. Yeah, we can go to 1 here. Oh no, we're dead. We lose. There's nothing we can do about it, so we'll just take it. And we lost. I mean, it's Delver. It's a really good deck, but we put up a really good fight there in game 3. I mean, if we'd drawn a land earlier, we would have just won. We just couldn't hit that 4th land, so that we could start throwing things at him with our Timoret. Also didn't, top deck a lightning bolt. He got to have one. We didn't. Granted, he has more card draw than we do, and we also never got our Necromancer's stockpile against him. I think if we'd gotten the stockpile in any of those games, he would have been in a lot of trouble. We would have drawn a lot of extra cards. We would have had extra zombies in play, and we just didn't get them. But it was still, good to see how this deck does against Delver. I hadn't actually played it yet. I didn't realize he was going to have so many creatures with Delve, but it makes sense that the deck has changed since Khan's block came out to include creatures with Delve, because it just puts so many things in the graveyard. So next time I would probably side in my Rakdos Charms to prevent things like Gurmag Angler, or to at least make it more difficult for them to come into play. But I'm still pretty satisfied with how we performed there. We won 1 game, and granted it was on Mana Screw, but in game 3 we were pretty screwed, and we still got him to 3 life. We just couldn't draw what we needed when we needed to. So that's how this deck does against Delver. I think it has a real chance against it, more than a chance. I think it would probably win at least half the time against Delver. It just didn't happen for us in this game.